Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Thursday workout. It's benchmark day. It is that one again. It is Fran. This is a scary workout a little bit for a lot of people. It's more scary for people who've done it before because you know what it feels like. You've been there before and it's challenging. I want to say this on the face of like, it is hard to make yourself go to that place again when you understand how uncomfortable it makes you. But that is what makes you different. That's what makes you tougher, is your ability to continue to recruit these challenging, uncomfortable experiences and not let it turn you off, right? Not let it say like, you know what? I just don't feel like pushing today, right? I want you to question yourself, ask yourself, how many days a week do I say, today's just not the day, right? Because those are the kind of habits that kind of creep into your life. Even a life of a CrossFitter, a life of somebody who's being very active and working on their diet, we can slide, right? So I want you to think about that. I don't want you to make bad decisions and be like cavalier or haphazard about how you throw yourself at the workout, but I always want to be mindful of how hard I'm working versus how hard I used to work, right? And try not to lose that edge, right? That's the goal here, is we're trying to maintain this lifestyle as long as we can. And that means occasionally pushing into the pain cave, and that's what Fran is, right? So we're gonna do the warm-up today, 3 minutes of your choice warm-up pace cardio, and then a long warm-up, 3 rounds through, but I want the rounds to get progressively heavier and to progressively faster and more intense as we go through it. So the movements are air thrusters and then barbell thrusters. So the air thruster is mimicking the movement of the thruster, which is squat, extend, press, right? That is our air thruster, right? And then we'll move to PVC and barbell thrusters, exactly the same. If you would like to use dumbbells for this workout, that is a perfectly fine alternative. And I will say this is the secret is like dumbbells are great for working on a hand position and taking care of shoulders that might be a little tweaky in the overhead position, but they definitely make it harder because the barbell is connected, right? So it makes it a little easier to balance. Having two objects, an object in each hand, it actually makes the workout more challenging, right? Then we're gonna go into psoas lunges. So for the psoas lunge, I'm just gonna step back with the opposite foot from the hand that's holding the PVC pipe and rotate away from it. And then step and switch, all the way back, rotate away, step and switch, rotate away. All right, so big hip flexor, big psoas, as well as lat stretch on that one. Then we'll do some hanging work, some kips and scap pull-ups. So this one, we're just warming up the grip, warming up the shoulders, the shoulder blade muscles. So kips is forward reverse. Notice that my head moves relative to my arms, and then scap pull-ups is vertical up and down, right? So now my arms are moving up and down relative to my head, and it's all because of those shoulder blade muscles that I'm using. And then finish with some frog hops. So jump, try to pull your knees away from the ground when you jump, but if you can only just pull them a little bit, focus on the soft landing over how high you jump on that, okay? When you're finished with that, I want you to do some Fran mini rounds, right? So that means set up your pull-ups the way you're gonna do them in the workout, or if it's ring rows, whatever, band assisted pull-ups, jumping pull-ups, or regular pull-ups, and then your barbell or your dumbbells. So everything set up the way that it's going to be when you do the workout, and we're gonna do 2 mini rounds. So it's going to be race pace transitions, right? So that means set my pull-up bar next to where I'm doing my pulling exercise, whether it's next to my rings or next to my bar, right? So I don't want anything in between those two, right? When I set it up. So now in my head, I'm gonna go, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I pick it up, right? I'm doing my thrusters. 1, 2, 3, 4, race pace, set it down, right to the bar, right? And then hop up. 1, 2, 3, 4, back to the bar, right? Like hustle like that, okay? That's our warm up. It's gonna be over in like 45 seconds, right? But your heart rate will be up. You'll get a feel for what those transitions feel like. And it's a really good way to take some of the adrenaline out of the actual workout, right? I want you to hit that first peak, hit that first little shot of adrenaline before the clock goes off. And that is one of my things I've noticed over a long period of time is if I can take some of that adrenaline away from the beginning of the workout, it makes the rest of the workout go so much better because you've kind of already exhausted that little anxiety response, and you're like, and then you can calm down a little bit. Okay, yeah, my heart rate's gonna get up, but I can handle this and I'll be fine, right? I've gotten past that little shock where I get the tingles in my fingers and like the fear and the fight or flight response. We're out of that, right? We're finished with it, and now we can focus on the workout. and let your mind relax a little bit, even though, yes, it is very challenging, right? Okay, so that's the that's the warm up. The workout is Fran, 21, 15, 9 thrusters, pull-ups. So 21 thrusters, 21 pull-ups, 15 thrusters, 15 pull-ups, 9 thrusters, 9 pull-ups, and we're done. I have seen Kurt do this in like 2 minutes and 26 seconds or something, but that's ridiculous, superhuman, right? I would say the goal time for everybody should be in the 5 to 7 minute range, right? So faster than 5 is phenomenal, right? No matter what your scaling is, right? And in that 5 to 7 minute range is where the majority of my benefits will be in the short duration, high intensity workout realm, okay? If you take longer than that, most likely we chose the wrong scaling for your thrusters and for your pull-ups. So you should have a shot at doing all of these sets unbroken, right? If you want to break them up from the beginning, that's fine. And anytime we do a 21, 15, 9 style workout, I like to think of at least being able to do a third of each set without stopping. So you should be able to do at least 7 reps on the first set, at least 5 reps on the second set, and at least 3 reps on the third set without stopping. And that's kind of my thirds method for doing this style of workout, right? Okay, so that's it for Fran. There are options for today. There is Fran-ish, right? Which is like, hey, I'm going to do these movements, but I do not feel like dying today. Or this alternate Fran workout would be like someone who is in the first, like say 5 to 6 months of their CrossFit experience. I want you to do Fran-ish, right? Which has the same movements, but it is intentionally restricting the output, right? So I'm gonna give you every minute on the minute, you're gonna do 5 thrusters and 5 ring rows, and then you're gonna stop and rest, right? So you will still get an extremely good workout out of it, but it does not need to be at the death-defying experience that some of our longer term members are at just yet, all right? So that will be same stuff, slightly different format, spread it out a little bit more, still get a great workout, but it doesn't have that peak that can be like extremely intimidating or dangerous even for someone whose heart is not ready to handle that type of exertion just yet. Okay, so we'll work our way into it. I want you to work with your coach and make a value decision on what you're gonna do today. There is extra credit when you finish that. Some of you, if you do Fran in like 3 minutes and 25 seconds, you don't need to do any extra credit. You can just cool down, go ride the bike, go for a long walk, stretch out, and do foam rolling, right? If you feel like you wanna do extra credit, then it's there for you. It has some really good chest and shoulder stuff, as well as some mobility in it, okay? So it's not all work. Some of it is just some stretching. So take that as you desire, all right? Have a great one. Good job on Fran. I'll see you guys next time.